Yeah, Dr. Cool Guy. That's that's how they treat outsiders. Sometimes I love chat. Only that many Frankerzies. Dang, that is really quiet today. No, I don't want to finish the Deku Tree first because there's a wrong warp you can do at the end of the Deku Tree that doing right now would be really dumb and not really help at all. But by doing it later in the run, I can use it to save a lot of time. Not only that, but I can also complete the Deku Tree a lot faster as adult than as child. Which is why I just grab the slingshot and leave. Thanks, Smackov. Oh, Brave Victory. I assume you're somewhat new to Ocarina of Time speedrunning then. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do in this game you're not supposed to. Hopefully I can stop resetting and actually do a run. I don't want to skip Saria though, I want to get the Fairy Ocarina, it saves a lot of time in the run. And technically I could skip the owl with frame perfect alternating stick and sword, but I'm really bad at it. Finally, a good Coco jump. Running backwards is faster than walking forwards. Well, for long distances. For shorter distances, that's like 4 or less rolls. You want to just roll. Yeah, so you can use the Coco to jump over that fence and get to Gerudo Fortress as child. You're usually never supposed to do this. And because I do this, there's some weird things that happen. So one important thing is you can also get into Gerudo training grounds as child by jump slashing right there. And there's this bomb chew chest right here. And getting bomb chews really early on is very good because they break everything. Nope, I'm dumb. I did one more side hop I'm supposed to. Using these bomb juice, I can get to this chest early. And because you're not supposed to be here as child, this chest is really weird. And for some reason it has an odd mushroom in it. But the odd mushroom is conveniently very useful for later on in the run. Also, there's a heart piece at the top of the jail, which only exists in Child Gerudo Fortress. And it's basically the 37th heart piece you can get. There's normally supposed to be 36 heart pieces. But there's a 37th one. And then I get caught intentionally because I want to go to Jabu right now. And by jump slashing that wall, you can get out of bounds. And I can use this to get to Zora's domain fast. Was that too high? I think that's fine. Yeah, that's good. Please. And then with bomb chews, I can skip King Zora and not have to get the leather or move him. The mushroom, there's a glitch I'm going to be doing later on called Reverse Bottle Adventure. Basically, I get a bottle on my B button, and then when I catch stuff, it can glitch certain memory values based on what item I have on C right. The odd mushroom itself only modifies your heart pieces, which isn't really too important. But later on in the trade quest, like the trade quest to get the big Oran sword, I'm gonna get the odd potion and the poacher saw, and with those I can get the Song of Time and Zelda's Lullaby very quickly without actually having to get it the normal way. There's also a few other things it gives me. A quarter heart, that's great. 3 reds, thank you. I really hope I get a heart here. I'm tired of going through Jabu with a quarter or half heart. Cool. Something. Minus 0.0. And so here's the first skull I need to get in the run. It's behind this, or under the Song of Time. I didn't kill it, dude. I'm done. But anyway, you're supposed to use the Song of Time to get rid of that block, but you can just throw the boomerang around it, and when it comes back, it always goes through the block. Let me kill this guy, hope for hearts. Something, please. Thank you. Just one is fine. The reason there's a Song of Time block there is just Master Quest likes to throw a lot of Song of Time blocks around. I guess the main reason they like to use it in the first 3 dungeons is the intention was probably to force the player to make multiple trips back to the dungeon later on in the game to actually get 100%, get all the skulltulas. But obviously there's ways around it. Actually, in an older version of this run, you actually didn't get the Song of Time at all. You didn't even get it with LBA. And there were some even more complex tricks to skip Song of Time blocks. Like in the Forest Trial in Ganon's Castle, you had to exit and enter a door 26 times to unload a Song of Time block so that it wouldn't interrupt you. Yeah, Master Quest is pretty fun if if you're just looking for something new. It's definitely got its share of like bad design and dumb stuff, but it's pretty fun overall, I'd say. Actually, some of the puzzles casually are pretty weird. But, like, in a good way weird. That makes some of the dungeons really interesting. Actually, I should have taken damage. Whatever. Bad design. By that I mean stuff like objects that are just improperly placed. Easy to sequence break. Like, there's one switch in Fire Temple that you're supposed to hold down with a box to open a door, but you can literally just walk from the switch to the door in enough time. Nice. I just wasted a chew because I got hit in midair anyway. That's an intentional death, by the way. I want to die here to get back to the beginning of Javu. Much faster than actually clearing out the room and climbing back up. I'm playing in Japanese because the text is faster. So the way you're supposed to do this room is you shoot a cow 3 times, and every time you shoot it, it raises up through the wall, and then it eventually gets to this point, and then you shoot the cow and it finally hits that switch. Which actually I think is a really interesting puzzle. But if you know where the switch is, you can just shoot it in the wall. The cows are just... that's just how Master Quest Jabu is. They like to throw cows everywhere. They thought it'd be funny. Yeah, a lot of people seem to still not know about Master Quest. Which, I don't know, to me it seems weird, but I guess I can sort of understand because it wasn't very available. But see, the weird thing for me is that I feel like I've always known about Master Quest. Like, I got it near when it came out. I guess like I'm just a bigger nerd than everyone, but I've always known about Master Quest, and it feels weird when people don't know. Or like, I can understand some people not knowing about it, but I feel like a lot more people than I expected don't know about it. Yeah, this is on GameCube. Yeah, the only difference in any percent in Master Quest is the way you do B1 skip is different, and the scrubs go in the order 3-1-2 instead of 2-3-1. That's the only differences in any percent. Everything else is exactly the same. Yeah, this game was a pre-order bonus for Wind Waker. I've never done all chests, but I do want to do it at some point. I will do no doors eventually. So never. I actually don't know how I got Master Quest because I'm pretty sure I never pre-ordered Wind Waker. So I'm not really sure how I got it in the first place. But I do know that I got it near when it came out though. So I remember playing it back in like probably 2003 or 2004. Maybe they had it on sale in a GameStop as like a used game or something. That's my best guess. Even though they probably weren't supposed to. So I'm just making a quick trip into Dodongo's Cavern to get bombs and a skulltula. Not gonna finish it. Same case as Deku Tree, it's just faster to finish as adult. Skyward Sword is a good game. It's not a great game. It was fun. The side quests were terrible though. Like, it definitely had one of the better main quests, but side quests were awful. Skyward Sword is one of the only Zelda games I never bothered to get 100% in. Like, normally I always go for 100%, but I just didn't care. It's also one of the few Zelda games where I don't think 100% speedruns are good either. And you guys probably know that I love 100% usually. Please tell me that grabbed. Okay. Like, I definitely think Skyward Sword had a lot of problems, but it was still enjoyable. I'd still probably consider it the weakest of the 3D Zeldas, though. I used to hate TP, and then I speedran it for a few weeks, and then I started to love TP. And I realized it's actually a really good game. Except the beginning, casually, without glitches, is really awful. If by game mode, you mean that game selection screen? That's just when you start up the Master Quest disc, it gives you a game selection screen, whether you want to play the original version of Master Quest. And what I did earlier was a save warp, where I save and reset the game. And that always sets your position back to either the beginning of the dungeon, if you're inside a dungeon, or back at Link's house, if you're a child and in the overworld. Or if you're adult, back to temple time. But since I save and reset, it went back to this game select screen. But I always choose Master Quest on the game select screen. It's not like I'm changing games. We're still off another run at red thing. Whenever I see stuff like that, I'm always glad that I run a game with the easiest final boss. So this is a super slide teleport. When you do a super slide by rolling into a grabbable object and getting your shield hit while targeting, you go backwards really fast. And then when you do it off a piece of grass that you can't pick up, because I don't have Goron Bracelet right now, so I can't pick up grass, it teleports Link back to where the grass is, but it doesn't reset Link's height. So since I went up a slope, I get stuck in the air. And then because I had the infinite sword glitch active, that prevents you from falling. So I was basically just in the air above the grass, and then I could slide hop up to the ledge and get to Shadow Temple. And the reason I want to be in Shadow Temple right now, I'm not actually going to be this child, but I just want to grab the hover boots because in Master Quest, the hover boots are blocked by there's two obstacles in the way of hover boots. One is a Song of Time block, and one is an eye switch. And Song of Time blocks don't actually exist as child, so I don't have to worry about it, and adult would have to worry about it. Second is the eye switch. Your only option for the eye switch is slingshot or bow, and I don't want to use the bow for it because I want to get hover boots before I get the bow. Because hover boots save a lot of time early on, so it's better to get them as child because I have the slingshot anyway. That damage is intentional, because I'm gonna die again later. Yeah, that puzzle is RNG. It's always one of the three back. It's never one of the first two on the left or right. It's always the back three, but it's not consistent which one it is. So you just push and hope. If you have the Lens of Truth, obviously you can know which one, but I don't have Lens of Truth. Hey, cools. This is actually a pretty good Shadow. Shadow is usually pretty difficult. Of course. Actually, I should have taken an extra hit damage. Whatever. Another death warp here. Just the fastest way out of Shadow Temple. Reading chat makes some movement bad. Some of the glitches work on the 3DS version, and some don't, and some work a little bit differently, and there's also some new glitches on the 3DS version. Nice, I can skip the chain with these. Actually, for a while, the 3DS version actually was faster than the original version. Between when Wrong Warp was found and when Ganondorf was found, 3DS was faster. By about 7 minutes, I think. Because on 3DS you could do Wrong Warp to the credits from Dodongo's Cavern as child, but in the original you had to do it as adult. But then once Ganondorf was found, obviously everything changed. That's actually really good, considering I'm on GameCube, which is like so much slower than GC. There's a lot of new people here today. Hello, new people. GameCube has the worst pause lag, but in terms of general like gameplay lag, there's not very much, except for the tower collapse. Like the tower collapse near the end of the game between Ganondorf and Ganon. For some reason, it lags more on the GameCube version than on any other version, which is weird. Dude, new people make the chat way more fun. You old boys are all boring. The Gemeralds. What I did was I went out of bounds and then I jump slashed into the door back in bounds. And then I skipped the door time. It's called door time skip. Actually, if your only goal is to become adult, you can actually become adult in 7 minutes. And all you need is a decky stick. No, you're not supposed to enjoy the game. You're supposed to get world records. That's what video games were made for. Dude, I love that the cut across the field analogy. It's so bad. Oh yeah, that's right. You can, in the OOT demo and Brawl, you can, the amount of time you have is enough time to actually get the Master Sword. Back in the day when it was just like barely possible, it used to be a common challenge, but now it's like super easy. Basically evergreen gamer, yeah. There's multiple save files in that demo. I think it's the save file that... there's one save file that starts as child with the intro gone, like 50 rupees, Deku's shield, Kokiri sword, and Deku nuts and Deku sticks, I think. Nice. Well, the demo is literally just the exact game on VC with a time limit. Like, the entire game is there. I don't know if there's enough time to actually get to the wrong warp. There should be enough time. But, I mean, the Brawl demo, like, literally is the game with a time limit. The entire game is there. Yeah, I can't use a webcam because no shirt. Twitch is gonna ban me. Dude, I can't wait for Caleb's next stream. Oh yeah, the demo doesn't start with a bottle. Yeah, I don't think you can do it then. Nice. Well, the demo timer is 5 minutes, but it also starts with a file that's already after the intro and has the sword and shield. So I was thinking that, oh, you can just exit the house, go straight to Deku Tree, beat Deku Tree, do wrong warp. And you should be able to do that in under 5 minutes, but then I forgot that the demo doesn't have the bottle. Or I don't think it does, at least. I'd be surprised if it did. You could probably get the bottle in the demo, though. Good movement. So here's where I do RBA, reverse bottle adventure. I get a bottle over my B button like this, and when I just caught the bugs there, that just gave me 29 bomb shoes because I have Poe on C right, and Poe links to your bomb shoe count and bug is 29. And then when I empty the bugs here, it gives me an empty bottle in my third bottle slot. And then when I catch bugs here with Odd Potion on C, right, that gives me Song of Time and all 3 spiritual stones. That was really bad. And then I'm gonna get Poacher's Saw, and then once I get Poacher's Saw, I'll catch the bugs again, and that'll give me Zelda's Lullaby, Nocturne of Shadow, Prelude of Light, and Serenade of Water. Bottle Adventure, only in reverse. If the name Bottle Adventure is confusing, don't worry. The reason it's called that is because the guy who found it was not very good at English. That is the real reason. I'm pretty sure a lot of that time loss is from a slight route change with how I do RBA. So now I have Zelda's Lullaby, which is really the important thing. Nice slowdown. That was actually a very convenient slowdown for the Hess there, because I would have dropped the Hess if I just went straight on the stairs. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna die. I knew I should have just gone with the standard bomb flower strat. Actually, I don't know how much health I have. I don't know if I have half a heart or 5/8. That is a problem. I think I should get a heart from the pot. Yeah, the way Hess and Super Slide are done are completely different. For Super Slide, you grab an object in the middle of a roll and then have your shield hit. But for a Hess, you roll into a bomb explosion, and then hold very slightly in a direction on your control stick and press Z and R. And you have to keep that very slight hold on the control stick, or else you drop the Hess. It's actually a really interesting trade-off and difference they have, because Super Slides are really easy, but they're limited to a single direction. I am gonna die from that jump. So Super Slides are limited to a single direction, but they're kind of easy, and then Hesses, you have more mobility, but they're harder. I did not want to drop my bugs. Okay, I'm pretty sure I have half a heart, which is dumb because that means I did just waste my time. Yeah, for those who don't know, the hearts actually go down to 1/16. Okay, I did have an 1/8. That's... I don't know, that's whatever. All I know is I have less than half right now. So, this game actually calculates your health in 1/16, but it only displays in 1/4. But the only damage you can really take that does less than a fourth is fire or ice damage. And I did take fire damage from the damp parries. And also, if you have double defense, then other things that do a 1/4 heart damage can do an 1/8 heart damage. Yeah, there's times where it can display you have half a heart, but you actually have 5/8, and because a bomb does half, you'll be left with 1/8, which will display as 1/4 and not actually kill you. I don't have the record video on stream just because LiveSplit has not been doing it correctly lately. It's just messing up a lot, so I just decided to take it off and just have splits for now. I might do 100% for this game. I will probably never really take it seriously. I might do, at most, like 1 or 2, maybe 3 runs. I would never try to grind it out and get a good time, though. Unless you mean 100% for regular Ocarina of Time, which I've been running for 2 years and have a very good time in, but still want to improve. Yeah, ZSR has the leaderboard for... Well, do you mean 100% OOT or 100% Master Quest? Actually, I'm pretty sure it has both, yeah. But I don't know if anything's been submitted for Master Quest 100%. I know one guy, Foot Big Mike, did a Master Quest 100% run years ago, and it was like a 7.5 hour run or something. I forgot to take damage. Plans for after AGDQ is likely either back to all dungeons or silly categories. Maybe something else. I'm not sure. The games done at AGDQ are all based on what's submitted. So, I'm not sure if Hotline Miami was submitted or not, but if no one submitted it, then they can't really have a run of it. It's not done by request, it's done by what people have to offer. And I also know they like switching up games a lot, and Hotline Miami was done twice, I think, in the last 2 or 3 GDQs, so they probably don't want to repeat it too much. Although the rule obviously doesn't apply to Ocarina of Time, Super Metroid, Castlevania of the Night, Super Mario World, A Link to the Past, because they always bring in the money. No, this is not my GDQ run. This is just a fun run I wanted to do. The run I'll be doing at AGDQ this year will be 100% of regular Ocarina of Time. fudge way, there's no way that's going to be useful in 100%. I think the Epona trick in general might have a use, and I will be looking into it a bit, but getting that heart piece specifically with that method is not going to happen. I might run MM again at some point, but not in the near future. I kind of got really tired of it after running it last AGDQ. Most interesting to watch speedrun? Oh my god. I don't know if I have one specific favorite, but other ones I like are Metroid Prime 1 and 2, Twilight Princess, Four Swords Adventures, A Link Between Worlds, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Probably some others I'm not thinking of right now. Nope. I have to land on a specific place on this platform, or else the game soft locks. Because the way I was just before, when I had to slide hop off, I actually wasn't on the platform, I was in the air. And if I press blue fire in the air, it doesn't activate, and because I can't, it doesn't activate and prevents your aerial movement. And because I couldn't move anyway, because I was just stuck in the air, it's a soft lock. So that's why I had to be careful there. Yeah, you did see a boulder despawn. So what happened with that boulder despawn is actually the two rooms are linked together, and there's a load trigger separating the two rooms, and the boulder is part of the loading set for the first room, but as soon as you touch the load trigger for the second room, it has to deload the stuff from the first room, including the boulder, so it looks really funny like that. See, like if you just saw, there was a big lag burst right there when I entered this room. That was the previous room unloading and the current room loading. Jeff, there's one use of it was to get to a really late part of the tower collapse. Hold on. And you can like do a new wrong warp to the very last room of the tower collapse, which is significantly faster than either of the other ways to wrong warp to the tower collapse. So, actually, now that I think about it, I wonder if it could be used in all dungeons. Probably not. But yeah, that wrong warp to the very end of the tower collapse could be used. Well, I'm not sure yet. It has to... A few things have to change about the rules for 100% for it to work, though. Like, we need to discuss RBA, because it would require RBA. HXGH, I think that anyone that really is interested and puts a lot of time into a certain speedrun can get close to or beat the record. All it really takes is motivation, but my motivation for Majora's Mask is very low. The community decides the rules for the categories. There's no single ruler of all the Zelda category rules. The difference between Master Quest is Master Quest has dungeons rearranged in different ways. The puzzles are different, the enemies are different, stuff like that. Some of the differences will be pretty obvious in Water Temple coming up. Yeah, we have the Zelda speedruns Illuminati. Favorite Master Quest dungeon, either Water Temple or Fire Temple. Or Jabu. Jabu is, I'm not sure if I'd like, in terms of just like overall dungeons, Jabu is good, but I don't know if I'd put it as the best. But in terms of like comparing OOT to Master Quest, Jabu is by far the most improved dungeon. Jabu is actually a good dungeon in Master Quest as opposed to regular OOT where it's by far the worst. Water Temple is a very good dungeon in both OOT and Master Quest. So one thing that's really cool about this category, as opposed to most OOT categories, is that you actually get the long shot early on. Because, like, basically every other OOT category, you don't get the long shot. The only categories you actually get it in is 100% and glitchless. Glitchless, like, who cares? 100%, you get it, but you get it kind of after some of the cooler uses for it. I was actually supposed to set Froze Wind outside the door, whatever. But in Master Quest, you can get it really early on, and it leads to tons of glitches like this. Hold on a sec. There we go. So you can do a weird shot, roll into a bomb, hold down, and then pull out hookshot, and you do these glitchy animations, which you can use to hookshot under the ground, and then hookshot past stuff. And that's another thing I really like about Master Quest is the fact that you can use weird shots so much, because it's one of my favorite tricks, but it's not really used that much in regular Ocarina of Time. Yeah, all the mechanics are exactly the same in Master Quest. Well, they're exactly the same as the 1.2 version of Ocarina of Time. So any 1.0 and 1.1 exclusive glitches don't work in Master Quest, but for the most part, they're not really important in Master Quest anyway. No, I'm not going to do another run after this. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, yeah, what Lord Bowler said. I literally just walked right past the boss 2 chests, and I did that on purpose. Because it's actually, like, it really is slower to get the boss key, even though it's right in front of your face. Yeah, the 1.1 and 1.0 and 1.1 exclusive glitches would help Master Quest 100%, definitely. Because you can't do early eyeball frog. Although honestly, I kind of like that about Master Quest 100% because it gives it something else that stands apart from regular Ocarina of Time, besides just the dungeons. The only MQ exclusive glitches are glitches in dungeons that can only be done because of certain stuff that are in the dungeons. Like, a lot of these weird shots can only be done in Master Quest, but that's because in regular Ocarina of Time, there's just nothing to hookshot. But as for, like, general mechanics, no. I can't aim. Dude, weird shot, please. That weird shot in particular just barely works because there's just this really small area you can hookshot the front of the box, and if you could only hookshot the side of the box, you wouldn't be able to make it because you just fall straight out of bounds. Hello? So that bomb shoot really breaks this room because it hit a switch way at the top of the room, which basically allows me to skip the entire puzzle of the room. And that bomb can hit the switch right as the room unloads and save a bit of time from the cutscene. Yeah, I developed this run. I made the category and made the route. And you're normally not supposed to open chests underwater, but for some reason if you hookshot them, you can open them. Which is really convenient. Yeah, your fall speed does increase with iron boots. I do have the record, but I don't really like saying world record for this because it's just a for fun category. Not really meant to be serious, or at least not right now. I would like this category to become popular and sort of serious because I think it's a really good category and it's the best way to really speedrun Master Quest, I feel like, because it separates itself from Ocarina of Time way more than any other category would. Torment, because there's a few reasons. First of all, they have to accept the run to be run at AGDQ, and they probably don't want to accept a run that a lot of people would be unfamiliar with and is long. And, like, basically it's a risky run to do at AGDQ, even though it is Ocarina of Time. And yeah, the fact that it's an arbitrary category as well. I would like, hopefully, maybe someday to get it. Not right now though. Nope. No. Whatever. Good late split. Like, I'm sure that I feel like Master Quest probably will get a shot at a GDQ eventually. It's just that, see, the thing is, the shorter Master Quest categories show less of the differences, and they're much more similar to regular Ocarina of Time. And then when you get to the longer ones like this or 100%, then you're getting into territory where it's like almost too long for the marathon. Like, the run needs to be, the longer a run gets, the less likely it will be in the marathon, and the more likely it will be highly scrutinized for like how good of a marathon run it will be. So I think if a Master Quest run ever gets into HDQ, it's probably just going to be more of a run work. Although this category could potentially do it, I guess. No. I need to stop trying to do my swag strat there. Well, Frothaboa, that's not really true. The final schedule says it's just a race between Majin, Phil, and Viva, and a glitch demonstration afterwards. It's not Kita's glitch demo run or whatever it was supposed to be. Master Quest any percent, the only two differences would be the way you do B1 skip and the scrubs go in the order of 3, 1, 2. That's the only differences. Last run that got this far died here. Hopefully it won't happen again. Alright. Didn't happen again. The real Phantom Ganon is brighter than the fake one. And that's it for Forest Temple. The reason I did like part of Water Temple earlier, then did Forest and then came back to Water is I need to get 5 arrows after Water Temple. I need the bow for that. But I also want to have the long shot for Water Temple, so it's faster to do half of Water and then Forest Temple and then back to Water. Please. Yeah, you can also hear the real Phantom Ganon. So what I'm trying to do here is do Ocarina items on the Switch. And then it keeps the door open. Oh my god. It keeps the door open for long enough to get to it. You're normally supposed to hold it down with a box. But I'm bad. There you go. the dungeons in Link Between Worlds, they weren't bad. They weren't amazing. They were like all okay. Some of them were pretty cool. I liked House of Darkness and Ice Ruins a lot. House of Gales was also surprisingly decent. I just have no interest in any percent. Like, I have no doubt that I could be decent at it, but I just have no interest in running it because it's not fun. I like the extra content in OOT that isn't just the Deku Tree and Cuckoos. Oh yeah, so this is why I didn't get the boss key earlier, even though it was right in front of me. I walked right past it. No, I am failing the easiest trick in the game. Anyway, that is the Water Temple boss key skip. Hey, anyone want to talk about a good category instead? My favorite games: this game, or Majora's Mask, Metroid Prime, and then a bunch of other games, but those are the real good ones. Get Out Cools. A Link to the Past any percent, yes, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the A Link to the Past any percent run is unbeatable. That split was just kind of sloppy with one trick to get to hold a switch down. Oh man, Twitch staff, hide the gay weed. Put your shirts on. Did Marco finally get the record? He finally didn't fail Void Warp? Shirts on, pants off. I'm sure that's exactly what the Twitch staff want. I don't know, that's what I'm asking. I don't know if Marco actually beat it yet, or if he's like close to the end, or what. Pass trials before Ganondorf, okay. Well, good luck to him. Hopefully 5th or 6th time's the charm. Please. So this is a pretty cool Master Quest glitch. You get out of bounds in the room where you... Oh my god, don't fall. I said don't fall, dude. So you get out of bounds in that room and you're actually in the room where you talk to Darunia. But you're like inside the platforms. And then from there you can super slide to the other side of this room. And then you can get the hammer early. Alright, there we go. So this is where you get the hammer. Don't pause here, what am I doing? And so this skips a pretty significant portion because it skips going to Darunia's room, talking to Darunia, getting a key in there, which is actually really slow. And then going all the way around into this room. And it also looks really cool. Because that trick is actually really neat. Fire Temporal overall is pretty interesting in Master Quest. It's got some neat tricks and very bad design. Well, sort of bad design. It's arguable, but funny design, I guess you can call it. And this death is intentional. It's the best way to get out of here. I need to save and then restart so that the title screen is my last cutscene because I'm going to be doing a wrong warp when I finish this dungeon. Wow. And if my last cutscene watched is the Blur of Fire cutscene, which I played before entering the dungeon, the wrong warp would soft lock, which is why I need to die there. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say the dungeons are harder in Master Quest, although, like, I don't really think of Master Quest as a harder game, I just think of it as a different game, and if you think about it like that, then it's pretty neat. But yeah, it's definitely arguable whether it's actually harder or not. Don't, dude, did Marco really? Bad RNG, dang, dude. No, if it got bad RNG, that's not a choke. That is just the rocks during the Void Warp can choose to just not let you do it. If one happens to fall on you while you're grabbing the edge, then there's just nothing you can do about it. No, I don't really have any interest in running MST. If I do, it would only be a small amount of runs to just get a PB, since I haven't done it in, what, 3 years now? 3 years? A long time. So here's one of the bad design choices I was talking about. So there's a switch here. You're supposed to hold this switch down with a box, but you can just walk to the door before it closes. Theoretically, it should be possible for a rock to hit you and cause the Void Warp to happen, but it would need to be in a very specific angle. So, theoretically, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work, but I've never seen it actually happen. There is a video of it? Okay. Oh, in 3D. I assume that would work the same in regular OG then. Dude, the torch slug. Would twin galaxies allow that switch trick? I don't know, that's a good question. I guess it's not really bad design, but some things are just kind of funny. The way they're done in this, and like how easy it is to sequence breaks and stuff. Barry, please. Thank you. So this skulltula right here is pretty fun. You're supposed to go all the way through the room where you get hammer and regular Ocarina of Time, and then go up in that room above there. But the ground / ceiling there is not solid. You can just long shot up. And that's all the skulltulas in Fire Temple. And then the boss you skip. Kakiri Tunic. Yeah, that's one thing I really love about Master Quest is how good Longshot is in this game. How are those kinds of skips found? That skip in particular, there was a ledge clip, like the way to clip out of bounds using the ledge was found on accident. And then once people figured out how to do it, people figured it out in like other places it could be useful. And so the way I killed Lavaja there is there's a second hitbox. There's one hitbox for the flying one and one hitbox for the one that pops out of the holes. And the hitbox for the flying one goes under the last hole it flew into, which is the one right in front of you when the fight starts. I hope my ESS down worked there. It should work. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. Now I just need to wait to die. How many bossy skips are there in Fire? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably more that I'm not thinking of. There's a lot. Fire Temple, see, the interesting thing about Fire Temple is because it's so vertically based, and the boss room's all the way at the bottom, basically all you have to do is get out of bounds, and you can probably fall far enough to where you can get into the boss room. And there's also this entire section that's like strictly based on vertically going above the room before the boss room. Like the entire Fire Maze Flare Dancer area up to the hammer is all just like building up above the room before the boss room. Thanks, Ben HW. This is not an actual category on ZSR. I would like to make it one though. I'm supposed to equip fire arrows here. Also right there where I broke the rocks with my sword, that's just storing power crouch stab with the hammer attack. It's a really cool use of power crouch stab. I am a ZSR admin, like I could add it if I want, but I'm not gonna add it just because I feel like it. I wanna have input from other people and try to make sure it's accepted. Like, contrary to popular belief, there aren't like 2 or 3 people that decide all of the rules for Zelda speedruns. It's actually community based. My favorite MQ dungeon is either Water Temple or Fire Temple. I forgot my strat in that room. You can actually clip up onto the box. You only have to climb up once. I want this guy to kill me. Or I'll just kill myself. I don't even know if this is faster at this point. Maybe I should have just save warped. Dude, that Lizalfos looks so freaky in that dark death screen. Yeah, the definition for this category, oh my god, says you still have to complete the dungeons, not just get the stones or medallions. So just like all dungeons in regular Ocarina of Time, you can't just RBA the medallions and say you're done. You have to actually complete the dungeons. Complete the dungeon is you get the stone or medallion from the blue warp. That skulltula, so the thing about weird shotting that skulltula is, in an older route, we actually had to weird shot that skulltula when we didn't have Song of Time. But the thing with the weird shot there is, you can't actually weird shot and just hook shot the token. You can kill it with the hook shot, but you can't grab the token with the hook shot. But what you can do is you weird shot under it, and then you can exit weird shot, just like press A to exit hook shot mode, and then you'll grab the token. But the thing is, it's really inconsistent, and in theory, shouldn't even work, because like, from my understanding of weird shot, it just shouldn't work that way, but it does. So it's this really weird and inconsistent trick. But we have Song of Time now, so we don't have to do it. Yeah, the way you can get the medallions and stones from other ways by doing reverse bottle adventure, which I did earlier. I actually used it to get Song of Time and all 3 spiritual stones. The real reason I did it was just because of Song of Time. I don't really care about the stones. They're just a side effect. But I got them, so whatever. Actually, one small benefit from it is I'm able to buy bombs from the Goron shop if I need to. I didn't need to in this run. I actually won't need to anymore because of a route change with bomb cheese. But before, it was a good alternative if I was low on bombs. Oh my god, please. Couldn't line it up correctly. No, Hops is best player. You'd still have to, like, the official trigger for completing the dungeon is still having the white flash is actually the specific thing. If you saw when I just did that wrong warp, I got a white flash. That signifies that I did get the medallion or stone, and I did complete the dungeon. So if I were to die, and I didn't get the flash, regardless if it was a wrong warp or cutscene skip, if I didn't get the flash, that means I didn't beat the dungeon. Good job. Just completely forgot that I need to do that. The sand here actually makes the Iron Knuckle fight really easy because you sink so low that it makes the Iron Knuckle impossible to hit you from close range. Yeah, I do count the trials as a dungeon in this category, as well as Gerudo Training Grounds, Bomb the Well, and Ice Cavern. Which is the only reason I'm here. Because they don't really have like a specific ending, I just count the item you get in those places as the ending, except for trials, obviously. So I require Ice Arrows, Iron Boots, and Lens of Truth. Hey Michael, runs are actually going pretty well. This run's pretty decent. Considering I'm 4 seconds behind and GameCube loses like a lot of time up to this point, I'm doing pretty well. Nice. Glad to know you guys raised a lot of money. It is a little bit faster to do 2 weird shots to get out of Gerudo Training Grounds, but it only saves like 7 or so seconds, I think, over save warping, and I also kind of want to be careful with my bombs at this section. If I were trying to get like a super good run of this, I'd probably do weird shots out, but whatever. Cool boost spring. For those of you who always think of the ice arrows as the item that's never used, it actually does get one pretty neat use in this run a bit later on. Alright, let's see if I can Hess. Oh, I'm not going all the way, by the way. I'm stopping it right after. I was gonna go a little bit farther, but that's fine too. I'm definitely not risking going all the way on GameCube though. I have done it before, but it's not worth it. It's risky. On GameCube it's really easy to accidentally change your angle when you don't mean to. And in a Hess as precise as the Wasteland Hess, you can't afford that. So Spirit is pretty neat. It's probably one of the most changed dungeons. dumb. I don't know what to equip. There's something else I forgot to equip. Hammer, that's it. So there's a cool trick coming up here where I actually do 2 weird shots in a row. The first one is actually with the bow. And I use to shoot this switch here. And then this causes a key chest to fall down. And then I can use weird shot with the hook shot to actually hook shot the key chest. And this lets me skip to the early or middle part of the temple really quickly, and gives me plenty of keys because you actually need quite a few keys in this dungeon in Master Quest. And you also go up the child side. This is supposed to be the child way of getting up the top of Spirit Temple, but you can obviously do as adult. And there's a skulltula up here. There's supposed to be this really long puzzle to get the skulltula, but you can just long shot it. Because Master Quest is great. There's not too many useful places you can weird shot, or you can weird shot with the bow in a lot of places, but there's not many places useful. I know in regular Ocarina of Time there's one place in the Water Temple. You can use it to get to the Vortex Room after Dark Link from behind. It's not particularly useful for a speedrun, but it's possible. It's useful for stuff like Max % Adult, I think. Or it was. And you can skip this Iron Knuckle fight by jump slashing the door. That actually works with regular Ocarina of Time too, but it's usually never used. And then you do the standard super slide over to the mirror shield chest. And you don't have to kill that Iron Knuckle either because the door just flat out isn't locked, which is pretty neat. So this room is really hard casually and to optimize. I finally found a good strat for it, but actually finding this strat is pretty difficult. Because you have to get these 5 silver rupees all on this moving wall. Barely got him. I think the first time I tried to optimize that room, it took me like probably 2 minutes or something to get through it. And in this room, this is a really funny room. You're supposed to get the iron knuckle to break the thrones to get the gold skulltulas, but there's a very large gap that I forget what it's called by. There's a very large gap that allows you to just hookshot them, completely ignoring the iron knuckle, and let them sleep. Pasher, I've never had a Master Quest crash on GameCube. I remember a very long time ago when I actually ran this game on GameCube, not Master Quest. I did get one GameCube crash, but that was a single incident, and I don't think I ever got more than one. So shining light on that sun actually gets rid of a fire ring around that statue, which forces me to actually push it first because it is on a timer. And there's the invisible key chest there. And then it's just pushing the statues like normal. I want to take some damage. And hopefully I did the room right. Please tell me I did the room right. Thank you. I did the room right, I got the key. Everything is good. For those who haven't seen me run this before, I think almost every run I either mess up the room or forget the key. So finally that went well. Is my health right? Yeah, that's definitely 3/4. Or 3/8. Because I had 1 1/4. Or 1 3/4. No, they just moved the skulltulas in the dungeons around. So there's still 100 skulltulas. It's just that the ones in the dungeons are in different places than they used to be. There's still the same number of skulltulas per dungeon, though. No, there's no switch for the actor glitch. And even if there was, I really need that key. Well, I actually could get a different key to replace it, but it'd be slower. Yeah, there's 2 skulltulas I haven't gotten in Spirit yet. I'll be getting them after I beat the dungeon, just because that key I got I need for the other 2 skulltulas. And that key just happens to be near the end of the dungeon with the boss anyway. Here's a cutscene skip, killing the Iron Knuckle while out of bounds. Then I void out and don't have to watch the cutscene at all. And the music still plays, which is really good because the mini boss music is really good. Actually, I just realized I was supposed to add a Spirit Temple boss door split, and I forgot again. I think I've told myself like every day this week to add it, and then I don't add it. Whatever. Twinrova gonna be nice? No, of course not. Oh my god, please just shoot. And the reason I'm shooting Twinrova is just to make them spin in place, and it makes it easier to hit them. Because sometimes they can move around and get to very hard to hit spots. Like, okay. Cool, I missed anyway. So this just locks them in place. And then using the hookshot on this phase just to make Twinrova spin, but this time it's because it actually makes her move to the next platform faster. Pasture, different from VC or different from N64? Because they're definitely different from N64, but I think they're the same as VC. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, I actually did do Void Warp once last night, so I should know how to do it. Okay, my health should be correct. I'm pretty sure that's 3/8. If this actually happens to be 5/8, then I'll just watch the cutscene. Cool, I'm watching the cutscene anyway. I'll blame that on the diagonals. Luckily, this is one of the shortest medallion cutscenes, so it's not a big deal. What was supposed to happen there is I was supposed to die on the frame that the game started this cutscene, and what was supposed to happen is I actually get the medallion, but I don't have to watch this cutscene. Unfortunately, I messed it up a little bit. The camera turned the wrong way. And I had to watch the cutscene. Basically, it was just to skip this cutscene. Anyway. Still 2 more skulltulas left for me to get inside the Spirit Temple. This is actually one of my favorite Master Quest tricks because it's something that works in regular Ocarina of Time as well, but it's never actually useful. So one of the skulltulas is in this room. It's just on the ceiling, nothing special about it. But I'm standing on a Triforce thing, and you're supposed to play Zelda's Lullaby on it. So what I'm going to do is do this glitch. It's referred to as time stop in Majora's Mask because it stops time, but it doesn't actually stop time in this game. So it doesn't really have a good name. But basically you try to shield and drop the fish at the same time. And then you can play songs and move at the same time. And so it's not too important for getting out of this room. I could have done that without it. But in the next room, there's supposed to be this big puzzle where you play the 5 normal Grey Note songs, except for Song of Storms, to get this one skulltula. You're supposed to get into this gate and then play this song. But with that glitch, I can get the staff thing to appear without entering the gate, which allows me to skip all 5 of those songs, which is a very, very big trick. And I can get in here and grab this last skulltula. So I'm behind right now, but I can save a lot of time in Shadow Temple. Shadow Temple actually isn't as different as some of the other dungeons in Master Quest. Especially there's actually one room that is 100% identical, including the skulltula in it, which I'll point out later on. So I don't have Din's Fire, so the way I want to enter is climbing up here and then doing a clip on the edge. Come on. Like this. So that gate clip is same as Ocarina of Time, lets you get to the boat early. But I actually need to go backwards a little bit for a few skulltulas. And by killing one of the re-deads there, it actually stops the others from attacking you, because they have to mourn the loss of the other one. And so, that's why I just kill one of them, so I can go in and get the key. I'm bad at Eclipse. That's a really late split, but whatever. Did I jump slash? I don't think I did. I want to stand on the edge of the boat here because it prevents one of the Stalfos from falling and attacking you. Six, dang. Yeah, I will return to a regular Ocarina of Time very soon, within a week or two. Because I am running 100% at AGDQ, and I need to get ready for that. Not only that, but I also want to improve my time a little bit more. So you don't have the boss key, but you can do a boss key skip here with a precise out of bounds ledge clip. It's kind of difficult though because Master Quest pause or GameCube pause buffering is kind of bad, but let's see. I don't think it's gonna work. Okay. So here's the bongo fight, and yes, I did equip ice arrows on purpose, because this is its one true purpose. Yeah, I did get my GameCube disc. I am playing on GameCube right now. Hopefully I don't mess this up. No? Dude, I'm not supposed to shoot that one. Whatever. That's bad. I forgot to get ISG. I hope this is gonna line up right. I might have to just watch the cutscene because I don't know if this is gonna work. Although sometimes it doesn't look like it's gonna work and it works anyway, but if it fails, then it's really bad. Oh god, this is not looking good. I will do OI and see what it looks like, but I might just watch the cutscene. Nope, I'm not even gonna bother trying that. Might as well grab the heart container. That's unfortunate. I don't know why, but I just like completely forgot to get ISG at the beginning of the fight, and that messed everything up. Hey, a pro TBH, I'm doing okay. I shouldn't lose too much time just because my PB's Shadow Temple is also bad. In a different way. I'll still lose time though. Apasher, I thought I learned that from all dungeons, but apparently not. At least I'm consistent at this trick now. ESS is pretty bad on GameCube. I'm pretty sure it's worse than VC. So if you remember, I mentioned there's one room that's exactly the same in Master Quest, and it's this room here. There is not a single difference in this room between regular Ocarina of Time and Master Quest. What the chests have is the same, what the pots have is the same, the position of the skulltulas is exactly the same, and I can't grab it. And as far as I know, it's the only room in Master Quest that's the same. That time loss is pretty gross. Although I have a new route change that should save over 2 minutes. And then it also cuts out a part where I lost almost a minute in my PB as well, so I could save as much as 3 minutes. So now I need to get into Bomb the Well, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do another ledge clip. That's not going to work. Yeah, that would have been bad. Missed it. There we go. So in regular Ocarina of Time, the only way to really... Come on. You get into Bottom of the Well in regular Ocarina of Time as well as adult, but you can't really get to the main area unless you wrong warp into it. But in Master Quest, there's this Re-Dead you can long shot with a weird shot, which is nice. So you can do this entire thing as adult really fast. It wouldn't be faster to play the song for the Windmill Guy because that would require getting Song of Storms and playing it as Child. Both of those would take quite a while. So that Mega Side Hop lets me get up here early and hit that switch. And that chest that just appeared is the Winds of Truth chest, which I'll get right after I get the skulltula. Dang. I might do Master Quest 100% at some point. I don't have any plans in the near future though. If I ever do, I wouldn't take it very seriously though. Just do a few runs for fun. So the reason the next few splits are blanked out is because of the new route. So the time won't be accurate until right before the end of the run. But if it works out well, I should be ahead once the route converges. Yeah, my PB for this category is actually surprisingly decent. Like, for how little I practiced this, my PB is not... It's definitely not great or good even. But for how little I practiced it, the PB that I'm comparing against is actually fairly decent. I could save like a minute in Fire, a minute in Spirit, a minute in Shadow, and then the 2 minutes from the route change, and then small spare bits of time throughout the run, and that's basically it. It's still very improvable though. Like, if I wanted to really grind this out and try to get a super good time, I think something like 3:0, something between like 3:10, 3:05 is probably possible. Maybe even lower if more route changes are found. So in the old round, I used the wrong word from Deku Tree to enter Ganon's castle without having to watch this cutscene. But then I realized it's actually faster to just watch this cutscene, and then use the Deku Tree wrong word to just skip Ganondorf. So, this first room you have to kill a bunch of enemies to unlock the door. I'm gonna try a trick to skip that. Sort of risky. I already failed it, wow. Never mind. It's a shame because it's really cool. Get the key. Okay. About the early cycle. Kukuri tunic is the best. Why am I pausing? I hate when I think I have to pause and I don't have to. You don't know who Isabella is? Dude, Isabella is the world record holder for DKR low percent. Show some respect. Oh no. Okay. grab the rupee, dude. Wait, so is the Caseytron being banned thing real? I thought it was a joke. No, I wanted to get the magic after, whatever. So now I'm done with trials, I need to go beat the final dungeon. The reason I had to enter the tower before Minuet is you can't play warp songs in the main trials area, but you can in the tower. So it's kind of dumb, but that's why I had to run up there. Magic, please. Okay. I need some kind of magic drop inside Deku Tree. I don't have enough magic to go through it. Actually, you know what? I can save some magic by doing this. think the save's enough magic. Let me just check. No. I wonder if I should have death warped out. Most popular speed games? I mean, it's not even my opinion. It's OOT, SM64, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Link to the Past, really. Well, I guess there's a few others, like, I'm sure there's a few others I'm forgetting, but those are the ones that stick out to me. So that's the reason I do Decatry last, is because I'm able to use the wrong warp to skip going up the tower in Ganondorf. Yes, we can. I can roll right through the rocks. I probably should have. Really? Let's not. Pull a Marco. Also, look at this lag. Like, this is way worse than any other version of OOT. No version lags as much as this at the Castle Escape. I didn't do the super slide. I didn't get the double kiss. I'm dumb. No, I had the kiss and I threw it away by using the hammer. Good job. Okay, this should be a PB. It takes about 4 minutes from exiting the castle to the end. Well, actually, that's 4 minutes on N64. Probably closer to 3.5 on GameCube. So 3:10 or 3:13 or so. Yeah, this is not the run. I guess I have to redo the run again because I didn't get the kiss. Well, Zany, a lot of the time lost in this run was just because I'm playing on GameCube and my PB was on VC. And GameCube has very, very slow resets, which was a lot of time over the run. Some of it was just bad play, though. But honestly, overall, I'm pretty sure my play was about even with my PB. And the time save is really coming from the new route. Pasher, remember, when you're coming from the Deku wrong warp, it's the same angle as the one in any percent, so you just hold right. I'm playing on GameCube because GameCube is the real version. The VC version is a hacked version, and I was only playing on it until I got my GameCube disc. Cosmo has nothing to do with it. Please stop saying that. I know most of you were joking, but seriously, please don't say that. Oh my, I didn't turn around. What the hell? I should have used the hammer actually. It's not. It's like almost the same time with the super slide or the hammer, but I forgot I had hammer equipped. If you have hammer equipped, it's like a second faster. If you don't have it equipped, it's like a second faster to super slide. What, dude? My sound didn't play. No.
Right in the fucking head. Yeah.
Never mind, it did, but it was really delayed. Yeah, World Recce. Yeah, my prestigious world record. Hooray. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed Master Quest and all of the cool stuff in it that's not an OOT. Hope you guys enjoyed something different. I do want to do Master Quest all dungeons, which I'll probably start this week. I'm only going to do a few runs of it though. But after that, I'll be back to regular Ocarina of Time 100% and begin practice for AGDQ.